Today, Be'ezrat Hashem, we're going to speak about ka'as, about anger. Hazal says, Kol ha'ko'es ki'ilu oved avodah zara. If a person is getting angry, it's as he is worshipping idols. Zohar Kadosh explains why he's considered like he's worshipping idol. What's the connection between avodah zara and ka'as? What's the connection between worshipping idols and getting angry? And the Zohar explains what happens to the person who's getting angry. The pasuk says, "Toref nafsho be'apo." Nafsho is the neshama of the person. Be'apo, that's haron af, that's anger. When a person is getting angry, you know what happens? Toref nafsho. The neshama cannot stay with him. The neshama must leave. The neshama is so holy, cannot stand anger. The neshama of a Jewish person cannot stand anger. When a person is getting angry, his neshama leaves him. Now, if the neshama leaves, how is going to survive? How is going to still stay alive? What happens to him now? A bad spirit comes from Sitra Ahara and goes in him instead of his neshama. He's replacing his neshama with a bad spirit comes from Sitra Ahara, from Yetzer Hara, from the Samech Mem is soldiers. One bad spirit comes from the Samech Mem and goes into this person who's getting angry. And that's what the pasuk means, Lo yeh becha el zar. The el zar is becha. What's becha? Inside you. What kind of idol goes inside a person? That kind. The kind of idol that a person got angry and his neshama left, and instead of his neshama came a bad spirit now, this bad spirit goes inside him. That's called el zar becha. Lo yeh becha el zar, says the Torah. A person should not have el zar inside him. Which means, don't get angry and lose your neshama and get the el zar instead of your neshama inside you. Kol ha'ko'es ki'ilu oved avodah zara. Therefore, staying away from anger, it's mandatory. It's a hiyuv according to Torah before any other obligation. Because a person can do a lot of mitzvot and grow in Torah and Yirat Shamayim, and then he gets angry, and what happens to him now? He loses it. The neshama goes away, and he burns out. Torah, mitzvot, ma'asim tovim that he does, they get burnt out by the anger. That's why anger is considered a fire. We're comparing anger to a fire. That's the fire of anger. It burns basically the kedusha of the person, the anger. And therefore, Gemara says, Kol ha'ko'es imu hacham chokhmato mistaleket mimeno. Imu navi nivu'ato mistaleket mimeno. If he's a navi, he loses his nevu'ah. If he's a hacham, he's losing his wisdom. We learn from Moshe Rabbeinu. ויקצוף משה על פיקודי חיל. Says the Gemara over there, Moshe נתעלמה ממנו ההלכה. Why? Because he got angry. Even Moshe Rabbeinu was affected by a ka'as. And although his ka'as was l'shem shamayim, but ka'as is not good. Now, can we imagine a parent who is angry and is trying to educate his child now? And has v'shalom, he takes him and he smacks him. He's angry now and he smacks his child. Who's really smacking his child? His neshama left him already by the beginning of his anger. What came inside him now? El zar. And Zohar says this el zar is mav'irat al-be'ira. He's making him more angry. The anger comes with the appetite of an anger. He's starting to get angry. In the beginning it's a small anger and then it grows. How does it grow? El zar came now. Sitra Ahara came. And then he smacks his child. Who smacks the child? Sitra Ahara smacks the child, not him. So when a person is angry, is patur completely from mitzvat chinuch. Cannot do chinuch when a person is angry. And Zohar says, don't think the neshama left and 5 minutes later when it's going to come down, the neshama is going to come back. Once the neshama left, what a person has to do, how much teshuvah and how much tahanunim and how many mitzvot he has to do, ואולי תחזור הנשמה. There's no guarantee the neshama that left him going to come back. He's going to get new kedusha, but to get back what he lost, that's no guarantee for that. That much loss we have by anger. So, יש משל יפה, they're saying a nice parable. הקומקום שרותח, when the water kettle is boiling and the water splash, the boil so much in the splash, who gets burned first? The kumkum gets burned first. The kettle is burned first, and then the stove, and then the counters, and then the floor. But the hot boiling water spills first on the kumkum. A person who's getting angry, who suffers first? Him. He's suffering first. And then his wife and his children and his friends and so on. כל הכועס, כל מיני גיהינם שולטים בו. Therefore, the Torah commands us to stay away from the כעס. יהי רצון שנזכה להיות שקטים, שלווים ושאננים, עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו. אמן ואמן.